Hi, welcome to the Digital Edge, where we take you to the edge of digital transformation. I'm Corey Erkenbrecht, the Chief Product and Technology Officer.
And I'm Jen Jenke, the Chief Marketing Officer.
And today we have Adam Cartwright, who's the Vice President of Engineering on the call. We're excited that you're here. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, Adam?
Yeah, I'm excited to be here. So with Vasion, I've been here just over 3 years, and I get up every morning excited to come work with some of the greatest talent in the industry to build really cool cutting-edge software for our customers. I've been doing this for a little while. I mean, before I came to Vasion, I worked with a global systems integrator for 20 years, just building high-performance engineering teams and delivering really cool software solutions for companies all over the globe. And so with Vasion, I've really found like my perfect happy place because it's a combination of who you work with and what you do, and doing it with a purpose like we do. I love it.
Can I ask you a personal question?
Yeah.
You're on stage, and anytime I talk to you, you have tons of energy. Do you just wake up in the morning and jump out of bed with that smile on your face?
I kind of do. Like, I get really excited about what we do and how we do it. And I always look forward to like coming to work and just being present and being, in the work. So, yeah.
I love it.
Got to get that energy somewhere.
I know, because I'm going to hit the snooze button. Yeah.
Well, Adam, one of the things we're really interesting to talk to you about is the topic of AI. And I know maybe some people are sick of hearing about AI and wanting, but frankly, we got to talk about it, right? Like, it's the thing. Yep. It's the thing. So tell us a little bit about your take on AI, especially when it comes into engineering.
Yeah, so AI is one of those topics where I can't get enough of it because the industry is moving so quickly and advancing, and there's so much that AI is bringing to the world of software engineering. We use AI in our products already. Like, we do a lot of work in our products today with AI to look at data in the documents and make decisions on that data, how to do it, different things within our product, your ability to ask questions about the information that's in a form, for example. But for our software engineering folks, there's AI tools and capabilities that are coming out every day that are making a huge difference in the speed of development, and not only just the speed. It's not just about going faster, but it's improving the developer experience to a point where our devs are smiling again when they're using AI, which is really exciting to see.
How are they using AI, would you say?
Yeah, so if you look at kind of the last year or so, the primary use of AI is around a tool called GitHub Copilot. And GitHub Copilot is used by over 10,000 organizations from all different sizes, from Coca-Cola to Airbnb. And it's mainly used to as an AI pair programmer. So it kind of helps you as you write code. It finishes your statements. It helps you document your code. And it kind of predicts like what you should do next. And it looks at your code and gives you good feedback, and it's helpful. So that's the primary use. But what we've seen lately over the past, maybe 6 months or so, are new tools that really are agentic and help software engineers to build code faster using natural language, using other techniques, using tools to build unit tests really quickly. In our code base, for example, we have thousands of lines of code that have been written over many years. It's a large, complex code base. And no one developer understands all of it. But with AI, a developer can go to one portion of the code and just ask AI, explain this code to me. What does this do? And the AI can help the developer know what it does, how it works, what it touches, so that they can do their work much more efficiently and effectively than they could do it before.
What do you say to the question of, well, AI is just going to replace everyone's job?
Yeah, it's not going to replace your job unless you're not using AI, I guess. I mean, the way I look at it is AI is going to make everybody more effective, so there's more work to do, right? And really give, in the software engineering side of things, give our developers the ability to focus more on architecture and problem solving and more complex tasks that AI really isn't suited for. But AI can do all the mundane things and the things that are really time consuming. So really it's not going to take your job, right? It's going to help you do your job faster so you can do more work, right? More meaningful work. It's not just more work, but just the stuff that really matters.
So it will only take your job if you're not using it.
If you're not using AI, yeah. Those are
that's when you should be worried.
That's the key. And like we all need to be learning how to leverage AI just to do everyday tasks better. And we call that becoming AI native. And it's a topic like in my own life, I'm looking at things that I do every day, whether it be, helping my wife with the grocery shopping or trying to figure out our finances. I'm looking at using AI in every task that I do to be as AI native as possible. And it's amazing how it can help in everything. But particularly like for us at Vasion, like it's making a difference in our software engineering team. Like right now, like we're writing stuff and doing things in ways that we've never been able to do before. We've got a couple of guys that are using AI to make them so efficient that they're in competition with entire teams to see who can deliver more points, right? Or who can execute quicker and more swiftly.
That's cool.
That's fun.
One of the trends I've been hearing about lately is this thing called vibing. Like what is that?
Yeah, this new term that has been very popular out there called vibe coding. And it was coined by one of the founders of OpenAI, and he really said like there's this new way of coding where you just give into the vibes and you tell the computer what you want it to do using natural language. You either type it or you just speak it, and you let it make all the decisions, and you just explain what the output or the outcome you want is. And you give into the vibe and let the AI make the decisions on how to build the code, write the code. And you get to a point where the AI has written so much code that you don't even understand it, right? Because you can't go over all the code. And when there are errors, you ask the AI to fix those errors. So it's really a new, unique way of developing. It's become kind of controversial in some ways. Like some old school devs say, hey, you can't have code that you don't fully understand. But in the new world, the feeling is your AI can explain it to you. So there's not a reason not to give in to the vibe and let AI just build the code for you. I think though, for complex code bases, you have to be careful. Like you still have to have the human in the loop. You have to have a skilled engineer that can understand and know when AI is telling you things that may not be true, like if it's hallucinating. Or vibe coding is great for building like smaller projects or personal scripts and things like that. But you still want to be really careful that you make sure it knows what it's doing, right?
Yeah.
Why do I feel like you should play Bob Marley in the background while you do that?
For vibe coding. Like it's funny because I've seen some of our engineers change their status to, in the vibe, right?
In the vibe.
Yep.
I love it.
That's awesome.
So there's still, it sounds like it's a big kind of one of these hype market things a little bit as it's coming to, but there's some reality to it. We're still like, where would you say we're really at on that?
Well, we're there. We have tools today that developers can use to do a combination of vibe coding and then doing a lot of personal coding as well, like where they're totally in control and you can do a mixed match of it. when you're setting up a new code repository, for example, you can use Vibe coding to complete the structure for you, complete all the templates, set things up in a way for you so that you can be much more efficient and effective. And even finding bugs. Now, here's the thing. AI is great at coding, but it isn't really great at like fixing bugs, but it's really good at finding bugs, which is kind of interesting, right? Like you think if it can find it, it could fix it. But it's really good at finding bugs. And so using these different coding tools and techniques, you can find the bug, you can help fix it, you can tell it how to fix it, and then you can be on your way to being doing more things. So it's more than hype right now, but it's one that's kind of it's growing in its popularity to a point where there is a lot of discussion still.
So people, you feel like there's people out there who's building products 100% behind Vibe coding and then putting those out in production? Or?
So the CEO of GitHub said recently that he expects 80% of all code to be written by AI. And then the CEO of Anthropic came out and he kind of increased that. He said, I think it's 90%, right? And so it's hard to say where we're going to land. But in reality, yeah, there's going to be, in the future as we move forward, a lot of code written by AI.
Well, speaking of AI, last week you and I had an opportunity to head down to Vegas and spend a couple days at a conference called HumanX.
Yeah.
Like, tell us a little bit about your experience there and what you learned.
Yeah, that was an interesting conference. So this is a new AI conference, HumanX. And what I really liked about it, it was smaller, and the way that they had it created is they had leaders from different companies, particularly AI companies, some of these frontier model companies like Anthropic, and their leaders were on stage being interviewed in a way where you could learn new things about the market, about the technology, and just about where things are going in AI. And then we also had an opportunity to have more intimate Q&A sessions with these leaders throughout the week. I thought it was pretty exciting, but I did take away a couple of things. Like the biggest thing that I noticed is everybody's talking about AI agents, right? The ability to have autonomous agents that are doing the work for you, but barely anybody's figured out how to do it. There's a lot of just still trying to understand how to make all of this stuff fit together. And so I think the opportunity is huge for us, for Vasion, and for really the industry to discover and innovate new ways of leveraging AI to do some of these things that we've only been able to dream up, but now we have the capability to fulfill on those dreams.
I would say, also just to add on to I had very similar takeaway, Adam, as I was listening to it in multiple panel discussions, and these are with like the CPO of OpenAI was there. I mean, these are big companies. Anybody of AI was kind of in this conference, and they would do panel interviews. But I would say probably 8 of the 10 panel interviews I would go to, somebody would ask the question of the audience and say, hey, will you raise your hand for those of you who have AI running in production today? And it was super rare to see anybody ever raise their hand from that perspective. Like it was really quiet. So there's a lot of noise on the marketing side. Like marketing is definitely outpacing on this one. On reality, in my opinion. But there's some real key things that are important. One is that the foundational stuff, like the infrastructure, the hardware stuff, the GPU, that's really making a lot of hay. Like people are starting to figure out how to get back from the shortage of GPUs and how to shrink the models down to only run on the GPUs. Like that's in a serious place. I think that the build out of the base models are really starting to spin. Like again, people are getting optimized. But there was so many people who would stand on this stage and say, beyond that, like at the application and the product level, like we don't know how to do it yet. We're still trying to figure this whole thing out. So there's a lot of excitement there, but there's also a little bit of caution on what you're hearing. Even when people talk about agentic AI, what does that really mean? There's a lot of discussion about what agentic AI really is too.
Well, and we keep seeing quick innovation in the models. These new reasoning models that think, right? This is a big step forward because the results that we can get out of thinking models is much more improved than what we had before. So in the world of coding, being able to use a thinking model or a reasoning model to build the plan of what you want to code, like you talk back and forth and have a conversation with the AI model about what you want to build. And then you switch to one of these other models like Claude Sonnet and put it in act mode where you're now actually using the agent to build the code. So you used reasoning to think about it and build the plan, and then you use a different model to actually create the code. And these techniques are starting to get formalized, and it's amazing the results that we're starting to see from it.
There's so many ideas going through my head about this. Like, I was like, we could, again, have like 5 hours of this conversation. We wouldn't even scratch the surface. But I think we're almost at time. So last question.
One question before the final question I'd like to ask is we think about internal, Adam, I know you've been working with Chance a little bit on how we're going to get some AI tools to the employees here, right? Like, tell us a little about where we're at on that.
Yeah, we've been working to identify the different tools that are in the marketplace today that would make the biggest or be the biggest benefit for our employees. One of the things we recognize is not everybody has the same need. Like, different departments need different things, and there's different tools that are better tailored for different needs. So we have a handful of 5 or 6 tools that we're going through a process right now to evaluate, to look at the security and the privacy of these tools, to figure out what the best practices for usage is. And then we're going to target certain individuals and departments to leverage these tools to help us learn and better disseminate that knowledge out across the company, and then make the tools accessible for people in the company who will use them and be able to make really good use of those capabilities. So that's an ongoing process that we have right now. We know a lot of people are using AI already, using personal accounts or some of the free accounts that are out there. And it's just really important that everybody remembers to use them in a safe way. Like, I think people know, like, you don't put company information like IP or customer names or other things in these public AI models. We just got to be really careful with that. And then, of course, there's the privacy settings that you need to make on those tools that we were talking about before, where you go in and make it, in private mode or check it that it won't share your data, things like that.
And usually those settings are found underneath your profile, right? So if you haven't done that already with it and you're using AI, please take a moment and go do that with that AI. And if you have questions about it, like, reach out to one of the IT guys. They can help out for sure.
Yeah, which is really exciting to see. Like, and we have more AI in our company today than you think, because there's a lot of tools that we use that have AI in the background. It might not be like right in front of your face, but a lot of these tools are using AI in new ways because every company is finding usage of AI tools or just the capabilities that AI can bring.
Okay, now the last question.
Yeah, Jen, you're on.
What are you currently geeking out about?
So that list could be really long, but I'll be completely honest. What I'm geeking out about right now is family. So my kids are starting to have kids, and it is so fun because I'm now a grandpa, and to have like babies and toddlers running around in my life, that's what I'm geeking out about. Like, all my free time, I'm finding so much joy in just being with those kids. And I'm excited to teach them how to use AI as they get older.
How many grandkids do you have?
I have 4, and the 5th one's on the way.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah, it's amazing. They just multiply.
It's funny how that happens.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's a whole other podcast topic right there.
Probably.
Yeah.
Well, thanks so much, Adam, for being on and giving us your insights into AI. I really appreciate it.
Awesome. Thanks for letting me be here.
Stay tuned for the post-show wrap-up.
So Jen, yet another great interview with Adam. AI is a topic that, man, it feels like I don't know about you, but I don't go through a day. I almost don't go through an hour anymore without talking about AI in my lifetime. I don't know if that's like you or not.
Yeah, and I think you can have two approaches where you hear the word AI and you kind of roll your eyes and be like, not again, or you lean into it and start to figure out how to enrich your life with it.
Yeah, I agree. So what was your takeaway?
Well, as he was talking about engineering and dev and how they're using AI to create code. And I was like, wait a second, like I can do that too. Not ever at that level, nor do I ever want to be at Adam's level. But just the other day working on a side project of building a website, the theme I had and the components already built weren't there. I wanted something unique and different. And, I just went over to my little ChatGPT and, gave it a couple prompts and boom, there's the code that I needed to create that custom section. So it's fun for someone at my skill set and level to be able to do that. Like I wouldn't have been able to do that without AI. And then the other thing I was thinking is like, we talk about it a lot at work, but we also talk about how you use it in your personal life. And, I love meal planning because I hate to eat the same thing every day, though my husband could eat the same thing every day. But I hate meal planning and I hate writing the grocery list. Like that's done and off the table in, 2 minutes now versus me going through recipes and creating the list. So even something like that just gives me more time to spend with my family.
Yeah.
It's not always to do different work. Sometimes it's just to enjoy life more.
Yeah, I agree. And, I think a lot about our conversation about the anxiety of people today, thinking like AI is going to come take my job and my life's going to change. And I think that's real. I think there are people who are concerned about that. And I agree with Adam when he's like, no, AI is not going to take your job. It's going to be somebody who's using AI who might actually do that. And the thing that I've realized lately is that when we think about AI, more so than ever, if you really want to utilize AI, you have to stop and think about what's my process? What's the way I go about doing that? Because if you're going to tell a computer to do that or an intelligent machine to do that, you got to be able to describe that, right? And so I think that's forcing everybody to stop and look at what are all the things I do and how do I do them and how might I be able to use AI? And I think that's putting everybody in a very unique position to really grow and to really expand. Like I think we're going to, I'm excited about the future. I think we're going to see some incredible stuff happen. And it's because of these basic things like pausing. I mean, if you think of our product and our solution, like Automate right now, when we go talk with customers about Automate, one of the biggest hang-up is people don't understand the process that they have in place. They haven't documented, they don't understand it, and then it takes forever to get it documented and understood. And that's just something I think that's going to continue to flush out, and it's going to be something that's going to be really exciting. So that's what gets me really excited about some of the movements I'm seeing with AI, and yeah.
Just think how far we came in the last couple months.
Yeah.
Like who knows even what by the end of this year.
Yeah.
What will happen?
Yeah, it's incredible. It's a good time to be here for sure. This is Jen and Corey jumping off the digital edge.